My girlfriend told me that she was sexually assaulted and I am extremely conflicted about this. This is a throwaway account. Unfortunately, there is no person in the world that I could talk to about this whole situation and what I feel, so I am going to post this in multiple places because I desperately need to talk about this. It all happened this morning, but some things that happened before are important, so it might end up being a long post, but I will try to keep it as short as possible. My girlfriend and her friend, girl, are off out of town working for what will be counted as their summer practice for university. I'm not sure if this is a common thing in other countries, but where I'm from it is. The students must work somewhere during the summer breaks, or during the year if they have opportunities for that, like in this case, and their work will be graded and then added to the diploma or something. Basically, they are in some kind of recreation center, or leisure center, whatever it's called, and they are doing tasks like organizing meetings, presentations, and stuff like that. On site there are mostly people in their 30s, local businessmen and women who are attending those events. And me and her are both 20. They have to be there for a week, and out there, in their free time in the evening, they are allowed to drink, set up parties, attend the pool and whatever facilities there are in the center, which they of course did throughout those days. So this morning, it's the last day of them being there, she called me, crying, and saying that she was roped last night. What she told me was that she got invited by this 30-something guy to drink with him and his friends, they are their curators or something, at their place. She agreed and went there, but when she arrived there was only this one guy and no one else. He told her everyone was suddenly busy with something else and for some reason invited her to drink in their car. What the fuck the point of that was? At that moment she started feeling uncomfortable, but she wanted to get to know some of those people to maybe have some connections later on in her career, PR business, so she agreed. They drank wine there, they both drank from the same newly opened bottle and nothing else, had a normal conversation without anything weird going on, and then the guy invited her to go to his place and leave the car they were in. Inside, things got weird real fast and he started asking sexual related, like real weird, specific, questions and dropping obvious hints that he likes her. She said that she told him to stop repeatedly and that she has a boyfriend and obviously is not interested in being involved in anything with another man. After that, she stood up to leave but started to feel real sick and went to the bathroom to puke. He followed her and as they were inside he started touching her down there, as she was still puking in the fucking toilet. What the actual fug? She was fully dressed in the bathroom. At this point of the story, she said that she blacked out and did not remember a single thing that happened afterwards. She woke up in his bed, them both completely naked. A little later she also revealed that she remembers that he might have gone down on her while on the bed, but that's the only piece of memory she has. She was so sick of what happened and where she ended up that she dressed up quickly and went back to her and her friend's place, leaving her phone behind. She called me using her friend's phone. Needless to say, me and her friend were and are still extremely shook by this story. Her friend tried to reach some people on site, and it seems like they all knew that she was at this man's place that night. One of the man's friends saw her there in the morning, and all the business people there know each other really well, so that info must have spread real quick amongst them. Her friend didn't reveal anything SA related to them, only that my GF was not feeling well and they just shrugged this whole situation off, including the fact of her staying at the man's place, as nothing special, just something that happens when you get too drunk. Her friend then approached one of the few women there, invited her at their place and told her everything, but she wasn't very eager to believe it and said she will talk to this guy. My GF's friend couldn't wait and took the matter into her own hands and confronted the guy personally, and he said it was all consensual and he is very surprised. Now he texts my GF saying SMTH along the lines of, WTF is happening, we need to talk, I don't understand, what are you doing and why? My girlfriend was extremely hesitant to reveal any of this to anyone, except for me and her friend of course, but we talked her into it, and also talked her into telling her mom, who is a lawyer BTW, and her mom comforted her and said that they are definitely going to press charges. Now my GF says that she doesn't want to do this and just wants to forget this whole situation, as well as repeatedly saying sorry to me and calling herself a whore. Of course, I tried to comfort her as good as I can, telling her not to blame herself for anything, as she is the victim, but she kept saying it was all her fault. I absolutely get that it is a normal behavior of a SA victim, and I am not confronting her at all, but in my head, all I think about is that I don't believe her. We have a long story of severe trust issues in the past. First off, she basically cheated on me when we were 17, non-sexually. She went out with and kissed another guy while we were mad at each other and didn't talk for like a week. Then she also texted that other guy when drunk behind my back God knows how many times, which I found out from her friend after we broke up last year. It was a rough breakup, we were basically dead for each other and it was over nothing really. Then she proceeded to find another guy in like 2 weeks and lived with him for a couple of months. I have also seen other people during that period of time. Last summer we got back together again, talked about absolutely everything that was on our minds without hiding anything, revealed everything that was ever hidden, well really by her only, and promised each other to never hide anything again and to believe each other completely. I guess it is also important to note that we had a couple of huge arguments this month, one being about me giving her a present she didn't like at all, and one about me losing her plastic credit card. Yes, I am totally at fault here. Fortunately no money was lost and we were given a new one free of charge. She got insanely mad at me during those arguments, either talking some real hurtful things towards me or not talking to me at all. And now this happens when she's out of town and I don't know what to do. I have to admit truly with my heart that I do not believe this story, but I feel extremely shitty for this, knowing that I might be wrong and all of our past trust issues make me think that she's lying or hiding something, and I am truly lost at what turn to take, if any. I am not going to confront her about this in any way at the moment. She is crying all day, sending videos and voice messages about how she doesn't want to live anymore, how deeply she is sorry and what a whore she is. And I feel like a total piece of shit, but just can't help it for the life of me, thinking this is exactly the same behavior she is on when I found out about her lies/cheating in the past, and all her cries are coming from being ashamed of making a mistake while also wrongfully accusing someone to get away with her actions. But I can't prove anything and I can't confront her, and the only thing that feels reasonable right now is to side with her and see where it goes. I desperately need any advice in this situation. What would be the best course of action for me in this situation?
Relevant comments. Yup. It's very clear that most of these responses are from men. Every woman, myself included, who has been essayed, has the same story as this. It's a guy they know, it's a guy they want to trust, it's a guy who has just a little bit of a power edge. This guy knew she would ignore her instincts because of the career connection. There is alcohol involved. OP wants her to report, while simultaneously questioning if she's telling the truth. Her own boyfriend doesn't believe her, and she's supposed to think the cops will? She's supposed to retell this story over and over for the year it will take to investigate, stand up in court and get torn to shreds, pay for a lawyer, put her professional reputation at stake, and she's gotta be confident the whole time, even though her own boyfriend doesn't believe her? And if she doesn't press charges, she's lying? And if charges are dropped, she's lying? And if they settle out of court, she's lying? And if she doesn't win the case, she's lying? She's getting traumatized all over again. Arguably the worst part of getting essayed is that no one believes you for absolutely no reason. Everyone knows SA is a huge problem. Everyone knows it's common. Everyone knows victims aren't believed. Everyone wants to say they support women and hate rapists and would fuck up any guy that treats women that way. Every guy wants to be the good guy. And yet, when we come forward, no one believes us. After one of the most awful moments of our lives, we are the targets of criticism and suspicion from the people who are supposed to protect us. Yeah, fuck that. If you don't believe her, OP, leave. You are a terrible boyfriend. She should have broken up with you over this, but she's probably not in the headspace, since she was fucking roped. You're taking her rape and making it into an opportunity to think about all your insecurities in the relationship. You should be supporting your girlfriend, opening your eyes to how society treats women as you watch this happen to her, having her back and wanting to defend her, and instead you're making this about yourself. Commenter 2. Your stories of her cheating are of a teen girl kissing another guy, and a period of time when it sounds like you were on a break and you were sleeping with other people too. I agree with commenters saying that if you don't believe her you should not be with her, but that's for her sake, not yours. If this is a lie to cover cheating, it would be a huge escalation in behavior based on your other stories. This will not be received well, but I think a lot of responses are coming from men. Women know how frequently drugs are used for sexual assault. I'd say it is more rare to speak to an adult woman who has not been drugged at some point, even if she managed to escape assault. They rarely report it, but talk amongst themselves. Sorry. It's true. Either way, keep your disbelief to yourself. If you need to break up, do it with as much compassion as possible and as though you do believe her. Because if this happened, and it very easily could have, the response from the people around her will be just as influential on her recovery and possibly as painful as the original violation.